Standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It is Monday. We got a lot to get to. We got some NBA, we got college basketball. We got to go over what's been a truly horrific start to 2026 for UFC. I got to pick Gianni's brain about this one because I got thoughts and we got a lot to get to, sir. So, Dan, great weekend in lacrosse. My gosh, congratulations to you, the lacrosse department. The profits have been incredible, and we hit our let it ride. We are now 2-0.
Yes. So as we told you on Friday, we put the play up for $7, and that was the entry into our let it ride. And then Andy told folks as well, if we win this one, probably this boxing play we have for Sunday will be our second. So we cashed them both. So the let it ride continues. We're not pushing our luck. We'll let you know when the next bet will be there. But yeah, I was happy, man. That champ series that I told you, each year it's one of our most profitable events that we have. So I was knocking on wood, crossing my fingers, and we just cap it really well. So we initially lost the first play we put on champ series, Andy, and it was one that we gave out here, and it was, it was a prop. And then we got back to what we do best, and that was sides, and then we win 5 straight. So we end up 5-1 in our champ series play. We're more than happy with that. We're going to continue. But folks, what do we have on the show today? That's what you want to know. Gianni The Greek is going to kick us off. He hit us with like a riddle before we came on air. He said, we have a lot to get to, but not a lot to get to, if you know what I mean. He said that you'll understand in a few minutes. So Gianni will decipher exactly what that means for us. Bill Krackomberger is here. He's got an NBA prop for you, and we're also going to talk a little bit about conference tourney tips. Marco gave us a great one on, yes, we're going to be using our brain with Crack, man. You know that. But Marco gave us a great tip, guys. If you missed it on Friday's show, he was talking about, this new court that's happening in one of these tournaments. How do you handicap that? And we're cashing some easy first quarter and first half unders throughout the weekend. And then Steve Merril, he's going to break things down for you. The West Coast Conference semifinals. Gonzaga is a huge favorite, and St. Mary's is a modest favorite. We'll talk about those two games for you, and then we'll talk Nuggets, Thunder, and NBA. So all kinds of free plays coming your way. Andy will take you all around the world. So Monday morning, Andy, time change ain't holding us back. Let's get into it, brother.
I can't stand the time change.
It's the dumbest shit in the world. It's
All right.
It's dumb. We're all screwed up, but guess what? We're gonna be here. We're gonna cash tickets. Is what we do, Andy.
It's just like, let's just add an hour or lose an hour, depending on what state you live in.
Why not? Or conference.
Let's bring in Gianni, and let's see what a lot Gianni. To get to. Kind of not a lot to get to, Gianni. Let's get it started on a Monday. Let's go over the Steam sheet, and then we gotta talk UFC. No, because I don't remember a year like this. So let's start with Steam sheet. How are you, sir?
So much to get to. Good morning, Dan, Andy, and all the viewers out there. My man Block, shout out. Comments are up for some reason today, so I could kind of see them. So usually they're not. With that said, real fast, I want to apologize to my long-term subscribers that partner up with me for 2026. I wasn't able to do the Steam room on Saturday. I was so sick. I just got food poisoning late Friday night, and for 2 days, I was just curled up like a ball in bed, and I was not going to risk all our work so far when I'm not at my optimum. So forgive me for the last 2 days that I wasn't firing a ton of plays, but if I'm not optimum, I'm not going to put your money at risk. And here's where we stand right now. I need to go over this. So far in 2026, we're up 90 units, hitting 55%. So a little about 500 bets. We're averaging about 7 bets per day. I know that's high volume from some guys, but for me, that's low volume. And here's what it's produced. We've only had to hit 55% to go up 90 units. That's sustainable. And that's a 5% ROI. That's sustainable. What isn't sustainable is if we were up 90 units and I was 70%. That's not sustainable. But at 55%, like I can do that all day. That's what I try to focus on. Like I look at where I'm doing in college basketball right now, obviously sitting at number 1, like up close to 100 units. But I'm only 55.3%, only a 6% ROI. Like I'm not defying probability. We're not getting lucky. We're not like we're expecting to regress towards the mean. That's the key. for my subscribers or anyone looking to jump on board. Is his results sustainable? And 55% is easily sustainable. Now, what I was talking about, the riddle is there's a lot to get to, but not a lot to cover. And what I mean is over these next few weeks, there's so much opportunity. We have the conference tournaments and then that beauty, the big dance coming up. And there are a lot of teams on there that bettors just haven't been following all season long. So they're going to look at records. They're going to look at the most simple data to try to draw conclusions. And that's where we're able to make all our money. Like if you're betting college basketball over the next couple of weeks, you're going to want to know what our power ratings reflect and what we're doing, because the results speak for themselves. And a perfect example is this. I peeked up Andy at the AP and I said, let me jump on Monday and explain the differences in why this market offers so much value, even when you think it's 2026 and it should be so efficient. Here's the perfect example. Miami, Ohio, right now is ranked 19th in the AP and 20th in the coaches poll. So you say the AP, they're writers. Maybe they don't know as much, but the coaches, they know every team. That's what they do. And they have Miami, Ohio as the 20th best team in the country. And I can tell you this, based on my power ratings, I would make 107 college basketball teams favored over Miami, Ohio on a neutral field. Let me repeat that. The 19th team in the country, according to the AP poll, would be an underdog to 107 college basketball teams based on my power ratings. In fact, against Duke, number one Duke, they would be a 23-point dog. Against 10 and 21 Utah, they would be a 3-point dog. Against 13 and 18 Rutgers, they'd be a 3.5-point dog. And last but not least, 13 and 18 Northwestern. 13 and 18 Northwestern would be about a touchdown favorite. Yeah, 7 points. I know it's not football, but they'd be a touchdown favorite over that Miami, Ohio team that's sitting at 31-0 or whatever they are. That's where the value lies in college basketball. That undervalued, overvalued, and nothing's bigger than that. And this is a long-about way to get to the steam sheet and the riddle. And here's what I mean. I power rate every single game. It's easy. And then I wait for plays to come in. If we line up, we fire, and the results speak for themselves. But here's what I got so far today. I got 849 Santa Clara plus 5.5 and plus 5. I like Santa Clara plus 5 and 5.5. In fact, gun to my head, that's the bet I'd place. Unfortunately, my power ratings make this about a 6-point game. So it doesn't line up. I can't use Santa Clara. I'd feel like I was gambling. I'm not getting the best of it. We also went over 142.5. New Orleans, Texas, Corpus Christi. My power rating made it 144. I know when we hit over 142.5, it's going to be at least 143, 143.5. So I can't bet on that and release the subscribers and feel it's still plus EV. That's the problem. That's not actually a good problem to have over the next couple of weeks. That, yes, we'll have opinions on everything. And I'll have even some strong opinions. But unless everything lines up, and the matchup, the power rating all lines up, I just don't have anything to fire. And there's no steam sheet out yet because I don't have a premium play. And again, the business is sell. If you don't have something to sell, you can't sell. So it's kind of counterproductive. But I promised years ago that I have one goal, and that's to turn a profit year after year. And if our goals align, I'm not going to disappoint you. So partners for 2026, you should be happy. I just don't see gold, but I don't want you to go away empty-handed. So I'm going to give you 3 soccer bets. 2 of them I just released today. One was the other day. The other day one, I don't know if this line's still available. That's why I'm bringing it, saying, we placed it earlier. It's in Ireland Premier Division. Shamrock versus Shelbourne. We went over 2, good to minus 140. And then today, this morning, and I know they were in the system when I released them because I released them, I swear on my mother, and then I bet them. And we bet, this is England League One. We went Lincoln City and Exeter City under 2.5, minus 135, 140, 145, and 150. So that's under 2.5, Lincoln City, Exeter City. And then also England Premier, Leighton Orient versus Stevenage. Leighton Orient Stevenage under 2. We went plus 110, plus 105, even money, minus 105, minus 110. So Leighton Orient under 2, Lincoln City under 2.5. Those are premium plays. I forgot to click the free pick to add as a free pick. I usually do, but I forgot that. Otherwise, like I said, those are 2 moves. And one that just came across the screen while I was talking was the under 148.5 in Detroit Mercy and Robert Morris, and the under 145.5 in Oregon State and Gonzaga. And if you have Odds Logic, no surprise, they popped up on their screen as well. So yeah, that's why I was saying there's a lot to get to, but not a lot to share, because I just don't have confirmations. But I could give you my power rating for any game you want, any matchup you want, whatever you want to cover. I got it. I just don't have steam to share anymore in college basketball or NBA. But again, it's early. It's 9 a.m. Eastern out here in Vegas. And as the day goes on, I should be able to put something together. But we're not forcing nothing.
Let's talk UFC. It's been a disaster. It's been a disaster. It's been my worst sport by far. I can't remember a worse year.
But then get it out, because I have some to do too. Tell me what's going on.
Well, so you lost a play with a guy getting punched in the balls twice. I lost a play where a guy was outstriking his opponent 28-2. Everyone got killed on Max Holloway. Oliveira just dog walks him. I don't know what is. I have somebody that is in with UFC, and they were saying like the fighters' rhythms are way off. Like Max Holloway said, I had to do 4 face-offs against Oliveira. Like what happened to weigh-ins and then your face-off and then you're done. They're having to do all this promo stuff. It just feels like everything is out of whack, and I don't know very many people that are up in MMA right now. So what's your take on UFC right now?
Well said. I actually, I think it was a UFC first. If you could ever lose a bet every possible way, I think I've done so. I've always said that I don't get emotional because I've won and lost every possible way. So it's hard to like get up or get too down. But on Saturday, I lost a new way where a fighter was deducted 2 points in the very same round. What I don't understand still is, didn't Long win all 3 rounds? Like, wasn't it 30-27? So if you take 2 points off, isn't it 28-27? So I don't know, somewhere in there, my math is wrong, maybe with the rounds or somehow, but it just shows you, this is the perfect example of you could place the perfect bet where you know before the game even starts that you have the edge. Kind of like blackjack. If you're a card counter, if you've taken my course, then you already know. Before the hand is dealt, you know exactly what the edge is, whether the house has it, whether you have it, and exactly what percentage edge that is, so you could bet accordingly. Well, with sports betting, that's hard to determine except with some factors. One of those factors is closing line value. If you lay -1.5 and the game goes off at -3, you have a plus EV bet. You got the best of it. You got out ahead of the market. You're now mathematical certainty to turn a profit long term if you could continue doing that. I know I sound like a broken record. I repeat these things over and over again, but at the end of the day, that's the simple essence of sports betting and whether you're profitable or not. But Luke, going off on my train of thought. Now, the problem is that randomness is going to occur when you're betting. And with the UFC right now, like, yes, for me with Long, you could do everything right. I laid -135. I made it a 5% because I was so confident based on my own implied win probability that he should be a -200 favorite. Well, the market started rewarding me for that. He went up to -160, up to -170, up to -175. Poly market had him even higher at some point. So I thought I did my job. That's the job. But he went out there, he did his job as well. He outstruck Garbrandt by double significant strikes. He just owned him the whole fight. But the ref changed the outcome for me. There's nothing you could do. That's that random occurrence that as a professional, you got to bounce back and overcome quickly because it's going to happen. And what you're suffering from right now is short-term randomness based on the market trying to figure itself out. because the change to Paramount, everybody thought it's going to be seamless, and it kind of is. We still get a card every Saturday. It's still the same fighters, same matchup, same objective, but the structure's different. See, I've been in the UFC machine now for 7 years. I see how it works behind the scenes, and I don't think a lot of viewers understand the complexity and the amount of people that it takes to put on a UFC show. Just the show that I do, UFC On the Line, which is a 30-minute show once or twice a month at the very most on their streaming network. And we probably have 15 people on staff for that one show that are staffed, that's their job, UFC On the Line. So you could just imagine the amount of people on a production of a numbered event or a fight night card. So all that stuff's happening right now, and it's changed for the fighters too, Andy, and management and trainers and everyone. So don't let this sway you to stick to your process. Don't let it change your process, because the market will correct itself and get back to what it's supposed to be doing. Don't, like, if your process has been profitable, unless over the next statistical significant sample size, it's not, I wouldn't change it. I run into that all the time. I do with my power ratings, where for 2 weeks, I'm like, dude, it's like we're on the wrong side of every one of these. But then I zoom out a little bit and it starts to make sense. And I think when you zoom out a little bit and you look at your long-term results, your process is going to make sense. And you need to overlook the short-term results. Just shut it out and do what you do, bro. Just do what you do, and the rest is going to fall into place. Don't change what you do, because it's gotten you to this point being profitable. Don't let randomness, short-term variance affect your process. That's the key.
Do we ever get the story what happened with the Michael Johnson Drew Dober line? Because I will tell you, I salvaged every penny I lost on pre-flop bets. I have a rule. Whenever there's a line move over $1 after weigh-ins, that is an auto max.
Good for you for not being afraid to fire. I talk about that with the draft all the time. Bro, I'll lay minus 1,200 if I know it's already official. Like, who cares? Big deal. I got to walk up and put, $2,600 to win $200. But I made about 8% return on my investment, 9% return on my investment in a couple hours. Are you kidding me? If my stockbroker did that, I'd let him babysit my kids, even though I don't have kids. But I trust them that much. So, yeah. And here's what happened with the Dober fight. At least this is what I heard. Rumors speculating that Michael Johnson was going to throw in the towel. And the reason was that his kid was kidnapped, and some Kansas City, Missouri gangsters have him in some basement. And if he doesn't lose in the second round, that his kid's going to get killed.
I heard this.
And lo and behold, Michael Johnson gets knocked out in the very second round. The problem with that is, I believe now the confirmation has been the tweet came out after the finish. I don't know. I haven't researched it because I'm not on Twitter. I haven't been able to get my account back, and I'm considering just opening a little one just because I get a lot of news from there. But yeah, that's what I heard, that it was a lot of rumor speculation driving that line. And the crazier part is the sharp bettors were on the Michael Johnson side earlier in the week because the public was betting Dober. But the only reason Dober hadn't gone the favorite was because every time he did, if you hit the odds logic, you'll notice every time Dober went the favorite, they would take Johnson as the dog. That's why he was like minus 120, 125 throughout the fight week. Because prior to that, they were betting him. So, yeah, it's just one of those crazy night of fights. And, again, it's going to happen. Fortunately, unfortunately, if you bet every day long-term, you're going to have a ton of bad beats and a lot of lucky wins. It's what you do with those results in the middle that aren't affected by that that's ultimately going to decide success or failure, because those are going to balance out. I promise you. The bad beats and the lucky wins do balance out. They don't feel like they do. They never do, but they do.
All right, Gianni, it's Monday. What do you have up for everyone?
Yes, sir. Right now, all I have is long-term partnership, and that's what you should be looking for anyway. You want to get with me for the March Madness. You already know the results. Don't need to tout them. And more importantly, I told you what I was looking for in 2026. If our goals are aligned, you will not be disappointed. That's the cheapest way to go about it, and you get the highest ROI. Weekly Steam Room. You get the blackjack course as well. Check out later today. If I'm confirming, the Steam sheet will be up because I want to share as much info as possible. If I can put up premiums, we'll do that as well. Otherwise, on to the next day, because we got a ton of betting opportunities between now and when they cut down the net first week of April.
All right, Gianni The Greek, thank you very much. Glad you're feeling better. Appreciate you joining us
Andy.
on Mondays as always. Yeah, Dan, you're not a huge UFC guy, but yeah, after weigh-ins, whenever you see a line move, well, whenever I was talking to my UFC guys, and it was like that was the only play that needed to be made this weekend. You have a guy that's a even money, and then he closes at minus 218. Like,
kind of tells a story, doesn't it? Yeah,
a little bit.
And it's obviously nothing certain, but yeah, when it's something that's stark, that's pretty wild there, man. And I don't envy you guys. Like I said, like I watch, I like following with our team and what we do, but yeah, when fighters are so much like kickers or, even like football players where it's so much your routine. You do X, you do Y, you do Z. With this whole Paramount thing, man, it's changed how these fighters prepare in their weeks for weeks. And it really is. You have to go back to the drawing board. Things that have worked for, 5, almost 10 years of handicap in, UFC specifically, it's a new beast, and that's why, Andy, it's not like when you talk about, PFL and things like that you guys were still capping. That hasn't dropped off a cliff or anything. It's just this UFC is a new beast with this Paramount partnership. And it's not only how you get it, it's how these fighters prepare and the things that they have to do. So, I don't envy you. You guys will figure it out and be able to nail down how it works. But yeah, that's tough in the interim to be trying to navigate while also trying to keep clients happy, man.
Yeah. I wish Gianni was still on here, because I kind of disagree with when he was, the variance, it'll work itself out. I think a wrench has been thrown into the UFC cog. I don't know if we're coming back. Like this new Paramount thing and the whole new UFC diving into boxing.
It's a new world.
It's a brand new world. And so when you have something that changes a lot, I mean, there are things I can't bet anymore. You used to be able to bet a lot of outright NASCAR plays at 20-1, 30-1. Those days are gone. Everyone's plus 650 or plus 700. So things change, the industry changes, and I feel like we're in a pretty big change with UFC. I know how we're going to attack it moving forward. We're going to be looking at the main card, and we're going to be looking at overs. That was Jim's best call, was the Kyle Barallo Ritter fight to go over. And the narrative is these guys don't want to get finished. The main event, the BMF, as in like the baddest mother effer goes the distance. These guys don't want to get finished.
If that doesn't tell you where they're at, that tells the story. Andy, real quick, Gianni mentioned hopping on board for March Madness. Obviously, we're going to have Steve come on. He'll give you some conference tournaments plays. We're going to get some conference tournament thoughts from Bill Krackomberger coming up here. But something popular that we've done years ago, they're bringing it back, is, buy now and then up until you get it free. This is action through March Madness. And the sooner you sign up, your access is immediate. So, you want Steve, you want Bill, you want Gianni, and you want, a mix between a long-term package and a short-term package. Buy now, $149. It's at everyone's page, and get all of that access through the national championship. And that includes conference tourney play right now, Andy. So we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that, with Gianni saying how much action he's going to have in the next few days. And I assume when we talk with Bill, it's similar for him and, his team with what's coming up here in college basketball. 149 is a no-brainer, and you buy now, and boom, your access is there through the end of March Madness. So hop in now.
Well, let's bring in Bill. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got cracking. Oh,
hey, what's up, Bill?
Hey guys, you'll have to explain that to me. I'm sorry, I know we're live on air. So for $149, tell me, do they get picks started? Let's say they signed up today. Do they get my picks today also and tomorrow, like up until the national championship? Is that basically?
Yeah. So here's how it works, and at least my understanding is rest of college basketball regular season, which would obviously include conference tournaments right now. NCAA tournament through the national championship. So any plays in NIT, if it's in college hoops, Bill, they buy today, all access 149 through March Madness. It's a bit absurd. It's a bit absurd.
Yeah, that's
Bill's like, how good? What's Johnny Detroit's phone number again? You know?
No, I just I'm like almost thinking to myself, wow, that's unbelievable. I've sold for years on my own site, which we're now closing because everything's going to be under the WagerTalk brands, and I just didn't know $149 what that gets. That gets you basically until the championship, but it also
all the way through the championship,
these conference championship games and stuff like that. So good. Looking forward to
Bill,
a big week here myself, and of course into March Madness and the Sunday selection. Anyone that does go with me, I'm going to tell you right now, make sure you have your notifications on.
Because these are move.
They're not going to be giant moves. Listen, when they put up these lines here in Vegas, I've been to these selection shows where the sports book, South Point put them up a couple of years first before anybody, believe it or not. And they had, like, Derek Stevens was able to bet a force bet of 10,000 on each game. There's also been other sports books that have done some things similar. Usually Chris Offshore, CRIS, Costa Rican International Sports, they'll put the line up and the other sports books will copy that line. In recent years, though, it's a battle. Sometimes Westgate has the lines up. Sometimes FanDuel and DraftKings put the lines up first. Of course, at DraftKings, I can't really bet a lot there, but they do have at least the stones to put the lines up first, so they have confidence in their bookmakers. So it's interesting to know what's going to happen this year on Selection Sunday. But no matter what, when it's a market that's bettable, now what that means is for our customers and our clients, for people that could bet DraftKings, FanDuel, and the other sports books, I'll wait until it's like 5 or 6 sports books. This way they can get an obtainable line. For sure. I know I'm not going to be able to get that first line out to people because it's only available at one sports book or two, but that's okay. There'll be plenty of plays. Trust me. One thing we're going to have now is plenty of volume. So you want to literally take your bankroll management skills, everything you've done in your past, and you want to use them here because you want to make sure you're spread out enough where you're able to have action on everything and literally what I mean is, you don't want to be firing on in-game wagering, and people get caught up in the hubbub of March Madness. Those first 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, they go so crazy, man. They lose their money on something that's double or triple the juice. They're closet gambling, firing on their apps. This in-progress wagering could be the death of American sports betting for people because. They're just trying to get out and trying to get even, and they think they know something by seeing something on the court. Now, granted, I'm not saying live wagering can't be beat, by the way, but it's not going to be beat by you just firing on something because you're watching it on TV or you're listening to one of these idiots on TV, these announcers or prognosticators or whatever you want to call them, Fugazi, telling you this and that. You want to be with winners. You want to be with proven track records. And you don't want to get caught up just degenerate, literally donkey gambling where you're just gambling. And I understand it because guess why, guys? I've been there. I was a losing gambler back when I was a kid. And it took someone to shake me and show me the right way in life. I'm not doing this now just to have fun, just to get even, just to say, let me win one more bet and I'll go home. Let me just get even for the night. So anyway, I know what happens though, because especially here in Vegas where it's craziness, it starts to get crazy here next week. As we're going to know, and now I'm not just talking about Kelly in Vegas coming in town either. She gets a little crazy. I got to keep her under control.
We know.
Kelly,
that's true, Bill. You got to keep her.
I've known Kelly
keep her
20
in line.
years. Yeah, I can tell you some stories. But no, it does get crazy here in town. But it's a sense of I should be betting more. I should be doing more. Like you get that just feeling it amongst the other people and stuff because you see them in the sports books. Every single sports book sold out, literally.
Yeah.
Westgate, you can't buy a seat for the last month. You couldn't get a seat at Westgate for Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. They're sold out. Every seat. Circa sold out. Everyone is just sold out. So there's a lot. It's really a tension-filled week for gamblers too. They may not think so. They may mistake it for fun and this. I'm telling you, I know it's a lot of pressure though for people betting wise. So you just want to keep within yourself and keep your gambling to bankroll management. 1-2% of bankroll,
For sure.
2.5% of bankroll. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you alluded to it that volume is going to be tantamount, which is why, obviously making sure that you are keeping your bankroll management in place. That's important. But Bill, my question is, when this volume comes around, is that because this conference tournament time is something that you really like? You guys see it really well. And kind of what's your process into determining, hey, this has to be a play, even though we already have 3, 4, 5, 6 plays on this card. This still needs to be one. How are you narrowing down and how are you betting these conference tournaments? Because it can be a really profitable time, but if you don't do it right, it could also bury you.
Yeah, you want to know what teams are there for just to be on the court to get this over with, to get to the big dance, or you want to know the ones that are serious about the conference tournaments too. So I have done well
Gotcha.
this time of year in my lifetime, and of course, especially that first round next week. We'll be talking about that next Monday. So I have done very well. You want to know what teams are playing. Not just going through the movements and the motions. You want to know which teams that really want to win and don't want to just get to the big dance and get it over with. But however, we have a good grasp on that. Every year, like I said, around this time of the year, we have done very well. And I'll be doing some, it's a scary thing when people, I like to tell them to bet first half and full game, but I hate for them to bet 2 units on one game. But there will be some situations where I'll tell you to bet a first half, which I think is a stronger play, especially on underdogs. That really goes into next week's play during the big dance. But even now, though, there may be some situations where I'm taking some of these dogs in the first half. But yeah, no, I'll have a plethora of plays, probably more volume than I've ever had throughout the year. I'll have this week and next week.
Yeah, and you can get it all 149. Just don't tell Bill that that's the price right now, all the way through March Madness. Bill, I know it's full steam ahead on college basketball, but the folks love your props here on the show. Do you have anything that you fired off in NBA action, or is it just full steam ahead on college basketball?
No, I have an NBA one and NBA props have been great. I'm really fortunate how good the NBA props have been. They've been carrying me home here. Let's see what we got for today. I want to make sure I give you guys the right line. I know it's SGA, but going over to OKC. Okay, good. All right, SGA Alexander over 6.5 minus $1.35. This is his assist, by the way. So his assist over. He's up against the Nuggets today, who they like to double and trap the primary ball handler. 9-13 in his 2 earlier matchups versus the Nuggets this season. So I like this over 6.5 minus 135. It should be a close game with playoff atmosphere too. So there's one for you guys. SGA over 6.5 minus 135 on his assist, and props have been fantastic. So you'll also get them for that 149. So you're going to get everything I give out for. Like I said, I've sold lots of these packages for $500 a month for years and years and almost a decade. This is a really good deal. So you'll have everything.
And then you met our friend Gianni Detroit, and then you said, "Oh, okay, Johnny, all right, yeah, whatever, man." So
I've had some wars with these guys and said, I've never done that, like for that, kind of prices. But they said, you'll actually get you get a lot of clients though that'll you'll get new clients too.
Yeah,
That'll
and it's a
realize
chance for people
what you're about.
who have to go in at a lower price point. I mean,
Yeah,
no brainer,
yeah,
guys. I mean, this March Madness through the end of it, any college
yeah.
basketball action from your favorite capper. So, Bill, always a pleasure, man. Best of luck, and don't let Kelly talk you into the second bottle of wine. The one bottle's enough,
No,
man. Good luck. Good luck with March Madness, but bigger luck with Hurricane Kelly that's coming your way.
No, I don't drink anyway. I don't. I
All right, smart man. That's a smart man.
I just have to get up every single day with a sharp brain and I haven't had to drink in 30 years since high school. So, but anyway, yeah. So, guys, just wanted to go over one quick tweet. So I put up a tweet. A friend of mine left 50,000. He did. My friend David left 50,000 at a slot machine by accident. Chips, 50,000 in chips. Took them out of his pocket. It was in a rubber band. And there were $5,000 chips. They were hurting his pocket as he was playing. I can't believe that he was just complacent that he took this out, put it at the machine, got up, and left those chips right at the machine. But my point is, I put a video about this. Just make sure in a casino you watch your surroundings, because surveillance does not want to get involved in any disputes. They're even though you think you're secure and safe in a casino. Trust me, many times casinos do not want to get involved helping their own customers. The reason why I say this too, be careful with the slot vouchers. Listen, I know people like to go around, pick up the vouchers and pick up you see a voucher for something. I had a customer a guy right into me here who I'm going back and forth now with on DM due to that tweet I put up, that was arrested and thrown in jail over a voucher that he picked up. And he played off that voucher. And by him gambling off that voucher, they actually put him in jail for the weekend. It was a big voucher. It was over $1,500, and that's the law here. Over $1,500, it's a felony. So you may think someone leaves money in a machine, you can cash it out and go to another machine, start playing it. They will backtrack, and they will. First of all, you're being a thief. You can't steal someone else's money. But people just leave vouchers for $1.80, and you're not going to go to jail for something like that. But I want people to know that, just so everyone knows out there, it is illegal to take those vouchers and cash them in and play off them. This guy got put in jail. Just read my tweet.
Wow. Yeah. Great follow. And you see it below him at Bill Crackman, the man of the people. Bill, always a pleasure, buddy. Thanks for coming on, man.
See you guys. Thanks.
Have a good one. And yeah, so just to clarify, Andy, we had BP. I'm guessing this is not our friend Brian Power asking, but maybe it is. Maybe he wants some clarification. But yeah, so this March Madness special, Andy, it is college basketball specific. So this is all access college hoops, but it does include NIT, conference tourneys, any of the regular season stuff that's still going. So if you lock it in right now, you're getting it through the end of March Madness. It's not something that we dabble in, Andy, but this is the time of year. Does our team do any team totals, anything like that in college basketball?
No, it's one sport we don't dip our toes in. I mean,
yeah,
we have enough. I mean, we have a 4% tennis doubles play that's up right now.
This is true.
So we have lacrosse. We had boxing at 11 o'clock last night that we hit. So
we'll leave the college basketball to Bill and Steve, and if that's what you're looking for, trust me, there's plenty of folks to get it for you, man.
I'll let everybody know we're adding another sport to our arsenal. You probably don't.
What do we got coming?
KBO. We're bringing in a KBO expert.
Hell yeah. One of my favorite things about KBO, Andy, is the fact that the games happen at like 5 a.m. So if you're like an early grinder, it's great. Yeah. So either you wake up and you roll over and you're like, oh, wait, I got more money in my account. Oh, yeah, the KBO, it's kind of like the boxing match, Andy, that was in the middle of Sunday night. I wake up in the morning and I was like, our Let It Ride continues. But yeah, this KBO action, it's great because if you're an early riser, coffee and KBO. If you're a late riser, you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. I won on the let me think, who's my SSG Landers. Yes.
Hanwha. I think Hanwha's
the Eagles. The Hanwha Eagles. Like if I know the city name, I can bring the teams back because I did a KBO show with Trig and Tokyo Brandon. So when I hear the Doosan Bears, maybe Doosan Bears.
Doosan, yeah, absolutely.
They're all like named after companies, Andy. They're all just like a company.
Yeah,
and then
It's you know this. It's what we specialize in. We're not going to be high volume in one sport, but we're just going to have a lot of sports that we have a play here or there.
If your friends ask, "Oh, wait, you bet that sport," it means you're probably riding with Andy and his team. Yes, it's what we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to talk real quick about Let It Ride?
Yeah, tell folks about it, because we told them, hey, this isn't something we're going to be doing every single day, but we cashed both of our plays, so we're already heading to step 3 of the ladder, so to speak, Andy.
Yeah, so the Let It Ride started on Friday. We said we're going to try to do I believe this is called the Ladder Challenge on social media. So, but we're doing it a little different. We're not doing a play every single day. We're just kind of handpicking some of these plays. We said we're going to play our lacrosse play, and that hit on Friday. And we said if we won, we would let it ride on Sunday with the boxing play. So we did. So that's 2 in a row. We're not going to let it ride today. We're going to wait just a little bit. But yeah, that's step 2. I'm not going to aim for 10 plays in a row, but I would love to get to that 5 or 6 in a row. So
from $100 we get up there, that's feeling good, man. That's the way it's. Don't let social media trick you into thinking the ladder challenge. Did you ever see the dude who's on TikTok who he keeps starting over the ladder challenge? If you go to his TikTok page, he scrolls day one of the ladder.
Day one.
Couldn't even get past rung number 1, Andy.
Every day.
If you faded him, you're probably on ladder step number 7. It's tough stuff, man. It's tough stuff.
It's not a bad idea. Try and find these guys who are trying to do the ladder challenge on Twitter and just bet the opposite. You'll probably
eventually
be loaded. Yeah. So you probably didn't even see it. I put a Let It Ride video in the media assets.
Nice.
So, yeah. I was debating whether or not to call it quits on this Let It Ride, like on this mission. Just say let's just take 2 and put them in our pocket. And No, you would keep. All right, we'll keep going.
We at least have to get to ladder step number 3, or let it ride step number 3. But let's not force it. Let's be judicial. You know?
Yeah, nothing today. By the way, I love our 4% tennis play today. I cannot wait for this thing to start. It starts in a couple hours. So if you guys want to, if you want to get the 149, do it now. That way you can get this tennis play. I believe we're 15-9 on tennis plays. So loving what's going on. We got a free play coming up in tennis, but I believe Steve Merril has finally entered the building.
Steve is in the house, baby.
What's up? Sounds like if you're fading a ladder challenge, it'd be like a step stool challenge, right, or something.
You just step up and step down. Step up and step
stool. The step stool challenge is for beginners.
I love Steve because you guys can't see what we have in our company Slack, but like whenever Steve is on, he always says like, "I'm almost back to my office," or I will be back to my office," and I just wonder, where are you?
Well, I got 2 NBA best bets posted, had to run out to a meeting, came back, got to get the free play up right after that. I'm actually going to give you the free player in the show, but I won't let you know which of the 3 games, so you still have to go to my page. So yeah, it's you know me, man. I'm diversification nation.
Don't stop for Steve.
Diversification nation.
Yeah, exactly. And then he also does the top 25 videos, breaks down about 45 games because there's so many of these freaking top 25 matchups. So, Steve, you're doing a damn good job, and the YouTube page thanks you, and the clients do as well, brother. We're happy to have you here on a Monday.
Well, I thank you, Dan, because people don't realize Dan does a lot of pretty much all the graphics for those videos, gets them up as well, and last couple of weeks did not do him any favors getting it to him basically after midnight on Friday to Saturday.
We learn and we earn and we win together. One of my favorite parts about that I get to edit your videos is I get to watch the entire video. So you know what I mean?
We need to come up with a graphic for the learn to earn, though. We might have to timestamp that.
I'm on
too.
It. Actually, yeah. Andy has been making some fire graphics, so maybe we'll get our AI assistant on it because we've been doing well, Steve. But
A stands for Andy and AI stands for Andy.
yeah, exactly. Andy information indeed. Steve, you want to start this college basketball double gamer, or you want to do NBA? We'll let you pick since you're joining us here.
I was going to do college first, but let's knock the NBA out, and then I'll do a double.
Yeah, let's do it.
That sounds good.
So it's what do we got? Nuggets and Thunder here, and I'll turn it over for you. Interesting handicap here. You heard the player prop from our man Bill Krackomberger. He's like an SGA tonight. What do you think in Denver and OKC? OKC around this 6-point favorite, Steve.
Only about a month away. Only about a month away from the NBA playoffs. So I'm excited about that. 5 to 6 weeks away because we'll get a little more certainty on who's playing, who's not. Because once again, you look at the injury report for this Spotlight national TV game, by the way. This is a Peacock game. It's on NBC Sportsnet as well. And it's a great matchup. Two of the best teams in the league, two world champs over the last few seasons. But the injury report, once again, makes it a little bit questionable because Jamal Murray is questionable tonight. Left ankle sprain. Chet Holmgren is questionable as well with the flu for OKC. So we'll see what happens in that. I mean, I just kind of assume neither one's going to be at full strength even if they play. But what does jump out to me about this matchup is a couple things. First of all, these two teams have played twice over the past 5 weeks. And OKC's beaten Denver both times back on February 1st at Denver as a 6.5-point favorite. Same line here. They won by 10. And then they got the rematch in overtime at the end of February on the 27th at home. Once again, 6.5-point favorite. They won by 6, but it was overtime. So they didn't really deserve to cover. And what's interesting about that game, it started the first of 5 straight wins here. And it also started the first of 5 straight non-covers. So OKC is in a very strange situation tonight in which they've won 5 straight games as a favorite, but they haven't covered any of them. And they've been a single-digit favorite in 3 of those 5 games, including that non-cover overtime win against Denver about a week and a half ago. With that said, I still think Oklahoma City is the better team. And if SGA does go off tonight, and I agree he probably will, I'd rather have the Thunder. I don't like taking teams to cover when I don't think they're going to win. And I don't see the Nuggets winning this one outright. So don't let the line scare you. If you're going to play it, I would lay it with Oklahoma City. That's currently -6. There are some 6.5s out there. By the way, it opened as high as 7.5. So we are getting a little bit of line value now at 6 or less with the OKC Thunder. And that one, again, is at 7:40 Eastern on Peacock and NBC Sportsnet National TV.
NBA action from our man, Steve Merril. It's a beautiful thing, Andy.
Who do you like in NBA right now, Steve? About a month out from the playoffs. So Detroit's kind of faltering a little bit. They don't quite have that scoring option. Who are you looking at outside of the Thunder? Obviously, they're going to be the favorites.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Andy, I mean, I think it's Thunder and then everybody else is playing for second. You look at last year, I mean, the Pacers, as you remember, snuck in there as one of the lower seeds and gave them a game, though. The Pistons could be that team this year out of the East. If you look at overall net rating for the season, I believe Boston is actually the second best net rated team this year, which might surprise a lot of people. They're ahead of the Spurs and the Pistons. Knicks, I still think if you look at experience, yes, the Celtics have it, but I think the Knicks have it as well. So you really got Detroit as the unexperienced team that's playing well, with the Celtics and Knicks as kind of the known quantity. So I think it'll probably be either Boston or New York out of the East. And in a 7-game series, yes, they have a chance, but unlike March Madness and college hoops, the one-and-done scenario really allows itself to see more upsets. It's hard to beat a good team in 7 games. Pacers gave it a run last year, came up short. OKC is just so good defensively. If you look at the defensive efficiency ratings, they're just night and day ahead of everybody else, basically. You got Detroit and San Antonio and Boston in the top 5. Knicks are 6th, Thunder are 1st. So once again, if you really think defense wins championship, it's going to probably be one of those teams. You realize I didn't mention the Nuggets. The Nuggets actually are the number 1 rated offensive efficiency team this year. And if you look at OKC, they're only like 8th. Boston is actually 2nd. New York is 3rd. So there again, I keep going back to Boston and New York out of the East. I think the experience factor and the balance will be one of those two teams. And then most likely they'll face OKC. San Antonio and Detroit, dangerous squads. I just don't feel like the experience is there yet quite to win 3 or 4 straight 7-game series.
Steve Merril, WT.buzz /SM. Sorry there, Andy. I was looking at all of these NFL free agencies. It keeps popping up on my phone. I'm like, ESPN, don't you know Steve's giving out some gold here in NBA? But yeah, all this Kenneth Walker movement.
Yeah,
Pittman,
I mean, only an Eagles fan would be looking at that stuff in the second week of March.
It's coming at me fast and furious. I'm like, I'm trying to pay attention to Steve here. So it has been muted since, Steve. So now
it's fine. Someone's got to follow NFL stuff because I know I sure as hell am not following any NFL stuff. Maybe Teddy probably is, but maybe you and
Teddy. Here, Malik Willis to the Dolphins. So we'll Andy and I will address some of these moves, rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 on whether it's helping them or whether, congratulations. But Steve, the phone has been silenced. undivided attention for the West Coast Conference. It's Gonzaga taking on Oregon State. That number is huge. I don't envy you capping this one, but I'm wondering if you see value on either side there. And then we'll talk Santa Clara and St. Mary's, California. Some folks in the chat saying, hey, Santa Clara could be a barking dog. We'll see what Steve thinks, but kick it off here, Oregon State, Gonzaga. Steve, I turn the mic over to you for these games.
West Coast Conference tournament resumes for some teams, starts for other teams here. They've got the extra bye round scenario. So Gonzaga and St. Mary's both coming off the bye, whereas their opponents played yesterday. And these, by the way, is in the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, neutral court. And it looks weird to see Oregon State playing Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference tournament. Strange still for me to say that. And Oregon State's lucky to be here. They barely got by San Francisco 78-77 yesterday on Sunday. Did not play an excellent game overall, but they did hit 11 threes. They also gave up 11 threes in that game, whereas Gonzaga has rested since their loss against St. Mary's last Saturday. And if you remember in my top 25 video a week ago, I said I thought St. Mary's was live in that game because they play slow down half-court basketball. It was also the final home game. It was a revenge spot. Really set up well for St. Mary's. So I'm not going to dock Gonzaga too much. They were 16-1 in the conference before that. And they did play Oregon State on the road back on February 7th, beat them by 20, 81-61. So they should be able to take care of business. However, the question becomes winning and winning by more than the big point spread are two different things here. And currently, this line is hefty. We saw the initial opener around 18.5, and it's been bet up now to 19, even 19.5 in a lot of spots. We've also seen some early money come in on the under, open 145.5. It's now down to 144. As far as the matchup in this game, Oregon State does prefer a half-court style of basketball. We saw St. Mary's give Gonzaga some trouble with that. Problem is, when you get behind, it's very tough to keep playing that way. And when you don't start playing your style, the wheels sometimes come off. Gonzaga also plays fast. Zags do give up a lot of three-point shots. Oregon State takes a lot of threes. And as I said, they hit 11 of them last night in that narrow win. Also, Oregon State gets to the free throw line a little more often than Gonzaga. Not a game that I love here, but I would actually lean towards Oregon State plus the 19.5. I think a better play actually might be the first half line, though, because here again, we got a rested Gonzaga team that maybe comes in a little bit flat after being off for over a week, whereas Oregon State did just play last night, and with the momentum, maybe they carry that in early. So instead of taking them plus 19.5, I think the better option is probably plus 11, 11.5 first half. Because once again, if Oregon State gets down in the second half, as they will, that slow half-court style might not work as well, but they might be able to keep it close early. So if you're going to look at Oregon State, I think the first half plus 11.5 is the best way to attack, and that's your ESPN game tonight at 9 Eastern. All right, we'll look at the late-night game. This is one on ESPN2, the Deuce, St. Clara against St. Mary's of California. And everyone thinks of the Gonzaga and St. Mary's as the two powerhouse teams in the West Coast each year, and that is the case. But Santa Clara is a really good team as well, and they definitely have a good shot in an at-large bid this season. And they entered this game also having played yesterday, and that one was a win against Pacific by 8 points, a game in which they really controlled. They were up by more than 8, a good amount of that game. So don't let the close 8-point margin fool you. They weren't taxed in that game. Here again, though, extreme three-point shooting. 15 three-pointers made yesterday. On Sunday, they allowed 8. Now they play a St. Mary's team, which I rate as the better squad here. Yes, they came off that big home win against Gonzaga last week, but they've been off for over a week now to recover. And as far as Santa Clara, they also got their revenge against them. They lost the first game back in January by 8 at Santa Clara and then beat them by 19 points at home over 2 Wednesdays ago, or last Wednesday before that Gonzaga win. St. Mary's enters in excellent current form. They've won 8 straight in the conference. And in a pretty low price range here, I like St. Mary's minus the 4.5 points. It's a little bit heftier than I thought it should be. I thought the price was going to come around maybe 2 or 3, but still, if you're going to play it, I would lay it with the Gales. Here's a tremendous tempo edge here. We talked about Oregon State playing slow, Gonzaga playing fast. St. Mary's is the slow team here. Santa Clara is the fast team. The difference is I think St. Mary's is the better team, and they will have the lead and be able to control the tempo in this game. And also the no-rest situation for Santa Clara is not going to work well. I like St. Mary's in this one minus the 4.5, and that's your late-night game at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2.
Oh boy, don't you hate it when the host is muted?
It would help if the microphone wasn't off. But yeah, if he's
We're
playing.
gonna clip these for videos, man. I think it's good. I thought you guys were actually doing it on purpose earlier.
Yeah. So
the clip a lot easier.
If he's playing, he's laying. That's Steve Merril. If I'm talking, my mic is muted. So there you go. Steve, you heard us talking with Bill was what I was going to ask you about this deal that's, hop in now and you're getting conference tournament action. You're getting regular season action, 149 through the end of March Madness. I'm sure that's something that you're going to be advising your potential clients to check out over at your page, right?
Yeah, I see that it's posted today. Great special. There it is. The Bonanza. I was going to the March Madness Bonanza. Anybody under 50 does not get that reference.
Wow, Steve, you really dated yourself.
Dating yourself.
Doing the Bonanza.
I love Me TV. I love TV Land. In the afternoons as I'm working, I'll have it on, and Bonanza's on quite often. It's a great theme song. By the way, Me TV has an all cartoon channel now, at least on Cox Cable here, 24/7. I've been watching a lot of Bugs Bunny. So we love our Seinfeld quotes in the comments, but come March Madness, I might have to start asking for some good Bugs Bunny episodes.
Hit them with it.
Oh man, I tell you, it's everyone's worries about society nowadays. We grew up with that. We turned out fine. I think in the last week I've seen shotguns, anvils, gambling, drinking. I mean, and that's the good stuff. There's some stuff I can't even say that I get
children's programming back in the day.
I turned out fine. At least I think I turned out fine. But yeah, Bonanza special. I love the word Bonanza. 149 March Madness. We also have the buy 3 days, get 3 more free, which is a great offer. 3-0 sweep, by the way, yesterday in the NBA on Sunday for me. And I point that out because I have 2 NBA best bets. It just gave you some free information in basketball, but my 2 strongest plays tonight both come in the association. Did not put them up free anywhere. No videos. You got to get them as best bet clients. You'll see one of them posted on WagerTalk. Now, if you sign up for the buy 3, get 3 or any subscription, you're going to get both of them tonight. But you only see one of them a la carte for $25 on WagerTalk because the other one is available for $7 at sportsmemo.com. What? My $7 bill. I only have one here. So I got to get another George Washington here. But yeah, $7. Everyone gets excited for $5 Tuesday tomorrow. It's the best Tuesday of the week. But $7 every day at Sports Memo. You can get one play. It's limited. One best bet. And one of my NBA plays tonight is available for $7 at sportsmemo.com, or get them both for less than $5 a day with a direct subscription at wagertalk.com. And by the way, bonus-free college play is going to be posted as well. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. And hey, get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM. And don't forget, if you're liking the shows, the free play videos, thumbs up, like, positive comment below, click subscribe, and click the bell as well so you won't miss out when every March Madness tournament game is posted for free here in the channel in the upcoming weeks.
Love it, Steve. Always a pleasure, buddy. Best of luck, and we'll see you next time, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, have a good one. Steve Merril. Andy, we still got your all around the world to get to. We got to remind people that the tennis play is locked and loaded right now. So a few minutes left here on the show, man. Let folks know.
Yeah, 4% tennis play. That's pretty much the big thing we got going on today. Other than that, we had an insanely amazing Friday, then a horrible Saturday. Golf went good this week. That was nice to get off the schneid, but we got some work to do. I'm not real happy with the results. We should be way, way more profitable than we are right now. So, and UFC, honestly, this year UFC has been the downfall. We're doing fine in the other sports, but it's been UFC that's really, really tripped us up. So, but tennis been very, very good. So happy to cash this one later this afternoon. Let's do some free picks, and then we'll go through Adam Schefter's Twitter, and we'll go through all of the NFL plays, transactions that we have. Blackhawks Mammoth Sam, I believe it's Rinzel, over 1.5 shots on goal. He's gone over in all 4 games since the Olympic break. He's getting 4 shots per game. Last 3 games, he has not missed any shots. They've either been blocked or they've gotten to the goal. So Sam Rinzel, love this streak to continue. Knicks and the Clippers, I like the over 220.5. The Knicks only scored 97 points yesterday. They were 8 of 34 from threes. They were in Los Angeles to play the Lakers. It's a back-to-back, but they're staying in Los Angeles to play the Clippers. I think they regressed back on their shooting, and the Clippers, they've been in some pretty serious shootouts. The last 3 games, the totals have been 243, 238, and 237. So I looked at for the over. And then Indian Wells, a couple of favorites I like. I saw RJ said something about parlaying all of the tennis favorites. I don't know if they're all going to win. I hope they all do, RJ, but two of them that I've got, Pagula and Svitolina on the money lines, they're just way better than their opponents. You don't need a whole lot of breakdown about baseline forehands and velocity on the courts. It's just a couple of mismatches there. So, all right, Dan, let's go through Adam Schefter's Twitter account and we'll go through the NFL transactions. Scale of 1 to 10. 1, absolutely nothing. 10, wow, this makes them the Super Bowl favorites. So
yeah, they've been fast and furious. I pulled it up so we can play along. Some of them, okay, Jets 1-year deal. Jets, the bigger one, Andy, was the Minkah Fitzpatrick, who just got traded for a bag of chips. 7th rounder is what he went to the Jets for. So any thoughts on Minkah?
No, we move on.
Yes. Well, here's one for my Philadelphia Eagles that, again, the story of Jalen Phillips, he's now going to Carolina, little edge rush help there. But the bigger story, 4-year, $120 million, $80 million guaranteed. He ain't worth that. Right?
That's too much. That's too much. I don't like that signing.
So that's because of value. I'm putting that as a 2. He's a fine enough player, but he's getting paid like he's a top flight pass rusher, and he's simply just not that, Andy.
Yeah, I got it at a 3. All right, what's the next one?
Here's one. All right, so my team loses a player, your team loses a player, but how about the Steelers' ability to just get receivers that are just fine? Michael Pittman, 3-year, $59 million deal, which isn't awful for a wide receiver, but it's Michael Pittman. Thoughts for your Indianapolis Colts? Big loss, little loss, and for the Steelers, major upgrade, or just, okay, you got Michael Pittman?
I give that a 5. I appreciate that the Steelers are actually trying to go for offense as opposed to linebackers and defensive linemen so they can score another 16 points per game. So trying to get it. I don't think the DK Metcalf has worked out, but I don't know if Pittman is the answer. For the price, I will miss Michael Pittman, but was he a game changer? No. And with both teams, it's all about the quarterback, and the Colts. Are the Colts going to roll with Daniel Jones? What are the Steelers going to do? So unless I know what the quarterback situation is, I give this a 4, 5 signing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's huge for the depth and that wide receiver room. It's a decent loss for the Colts, but it's not a world. Michael Pittman wasn't, taking you to the next level either way. How about the Giants? This one I hadn't seen. You got Harbaugh there, and he says, give me Likely. The only problem with Isaiah Likely is he is likely on the injury report, is usually where you find him, Andy. So reuniting with Harbaugh and some new digs. This will move the needle for you. 3-year deal.
I put this at a 2. I'm
with you.
They need to address offensive line, not tight end. I don't like this move at all. The Giants need a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more than Isaiah Likely to save the day. How about this one? I feel like this is just a scroll on past. Packers, Malik Willis is now going to the Miami Dolphins, who are Tua-less now, as Tua was released this morning, surprising no one.
Give this a 7. They address their quarterback situation, moving off of Tua. I know they have to eat a lot in the cap, but I applaud them for realizing that you got to just get off of you got to get off of a bad situation. I applaud the 49ers when they got rid of Trey Lance at the time that they did. That has worked out well. So when your quarterback situation isn't working, you got to swing for the fences and move on. I think this is a pretty good one. I give this a 7.
So Malik Willis, in your opinion, he'll be the day one starter for the Dolphins?
Unquestioned. Yes. You don't go get a free agent quarterback and then draft somebody else, young. So
yeah. All right. I like it. I like the breakdown. All right. So we got Pittman here. Let's see if we got any other. Jalen Phillips, Laramie Tunsil. He's just staying put. So, nothing burger there. Watson going to LA. LA is kind of upgrading, and LA is always going to be about the conversation. But LA's window is starting to shrink, guys. Like, that's why they're making moves like this, bringing in Watson, 3-year deal. Now 2 former Chiefs on the roster, because they also, went out and they got Trent McDuffie there. So this is the last one we'll stop on. Jalen Watson, any thoughts?
No thoughts on this one. I disagree. This is the last one. We got to talk Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs.
Oh, I completely forgot about Kenneth Walker. That was the one that sent my phone into a tizzy. Yeah, the Seahawks just say, "See you, buddy, Kenneth Walker." I also feel like, Andy, I want to get your take, but I feel like because he won the Super Bowl MVP, the revisionist history on Kenneth Walker being like this elite stud running back. Yes, it answers a huge position need. So this one is going to be like an 8 for me, Andy, because this is a positional need that the Chiefs have needed this for a long time. So just from a positional need standpoint, they have not had a good running back that's of the level of Kenneth Walker. However, I think there's some revisionist history. Kenneth Walker was a guy who in fantasy drafts would constantly fall down the board and underperform. And because of his stretch at the end of the season, I think some serious revisionist history going on for Kenneth Walker. Your thoughts?
I give this a 3. I don't think
really
this moves the needle. Yeah, the Chiefs need well, first off, they need Mahomes to be healthier. Their defense needs a little bit of help. Their offensive line needs a little bit of help. Running back is nothing if you don't have an offensive line. I really hate what happened to Pacheco. He just doesn't look like he's ever going to completely return to the form he was after the broken leg. So they needed somebody, but I just don't believe in signing free agent, big name, big money running backs. You can draft these guys in the first, second, third round for the rookie minimum. So I do not like paying free agent running backs.
So and that's fair because it's the running back position. It's just the nature of the beast there. Think about what Charbonnet did in Walker's stead, and that's probably what the Seahawks are looking at here, Andy. But I guess follow-up question for that one, and then we can wrap it. Bigger add for Kansas City or bigger loss for Seahawks, or in your opinion, he's a free agent running back for a reason?
Free agent running back for a reason. The Seahawks are built on defense, so they will lean into defense. Jackson Smith and Jigba is their home run wide receiver. They've got their quarterback figured out. Listen, they've got their quarterback, they've got their defense, they've got their coach, they've got their owner. They have all the pieces. Running back, in my opinion, for an organization like that is plug and play. And by the way, I don't believe Charbonnet is going to be ready for the regular season. His injury sounded really
it was bad.
No, his injury sounded really bad. Yeah, and this is football. This isn't Tatum coming back with in basketball. This is football where guys are diving at your knees and ankles and such. But they'll figure it out. I don't like the Kansas City signing Kenneth Walker. I'm starting to be really out on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're doing desperate things.
I mean, we were the ones who told you, hey, folks, they're not making the playoffs. And then and look at where we are now, Andy. So I love it, man. March 9th, and we're breaking down NFL. Will they, won't they? So enjoy, man. Enjoy. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for joining us, guys. Tomorrow's $5 Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow to get everybody ready. Maybe, just maybe, we may have a Let It Ride play tomorrow. We'll have to see where the lines come out. So, but thanks very much for joining us. Please hit the like button. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We're going to be back same time, same place tomorrow. Good luck on all your Monday bets. See you tomorrow. Take care.